is up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is super exciting for two reasons. First, because it's a DIY Halloween costume, and second, because Marvel Studios actually reached out to me to work with me on this video. So I am doing a costume for the character Hela from the new movie Thor Ragnarok, which is coming out November 3rd. I will also have a link down below if you guys want to buy tickets to the movie. You should definitely do that. So Hela has this really cool costume. She has this crazy headpiece and this really sweet bodysuit, so I'm going to show you guys how to make it as easily as you possibly. Also, this video is part of Marvel Studios' month-long Halloween campaign. You can find other content using the hashtag Halloween. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the video. I just want to say thank you again to Marvel Studios for working with me and sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so to kick off this costume, we're going to start with the headpiece, which is the most insane aspect of this entire concept and look. So there's so many different ways you can go about making this, and I had so many ideas when I first was presented with this, but this is what I ended up doing because I want to keep things simple for you guys. So the headpiece has these crazy, I don't even know what you would call them. They're kind of like antlers, but way cooler, but they're coming out of her head. So what I did was I practiced drawing them on a piece of paper, then I stenciled it on paper, and then finally I went over it with a Sharpie, mainly so you guys could see it better. The Sharpie's really not a necessary step. So I cut one side out and then I flipped it over to trace the other side so they'd match, and then I cut out that side as well, so you have these really crazy looking pieces, and then I just spray painted them with a glossy black spray paint. So I found a mannequin head, which is kind of creepy looking, but it was perfect for making this costume because you need something to attach those other pieces to. So I got a bald cap from just the Halloween store in this Plasti Dip spray paint. Now this is very important because regular spray paint does not work on these bald caps. It will never ever dry. So you need a specific kind of spray paint that actually works for this. That was a lesson I learned the hard way. I literally waited 7 hours for it to dry and it didn't. Then I took a headband and some hot glue. You guys know I love hot glue. It's simple, but it works. And I attached all of the other pieces to it. Now I've also seen people who use expanding foam for these other headpieces, and that can make it look even more legit than just the poster board that I'm using. So if you guys have more time and really want to go hard with this costume, I recommend checking that out. I'll put an article down below I found on how to make that with cosplay costumes because it's really cool. But if you're looking for something more simple, the poster board does the trick. It's nice and light, so you don't have to worry about carrying around a really heavy Halloween costume, and I think it looks really cool. So like I said, I think the headpiece is the start of the show here, but we obviously have the rest of the costume to get to. So you need some fabric scissors, and then I have this double-sided fabric tape because I cannot sew. I also got a little corset and then some of this green shimmery fabric for the rest of the costume. I also purchased a jumpsuit, but I ended up going with a t-shirt actually for the base of the costume under the corset, which I will show you guys later. So there are two different ways I came up with doing this. The first method is to tape the pattern onto the corset and then put the shiny fabric over top. This is probably the easiest method. The only problem is that your lines are not going to be quite as clean if you do it this way. So I wanted to show you guys two different ways because obviously I want to give you guys simple options, but at the same time I want them to look as good as I possibly can show you. So what I did was I took the fabric and then I just trimmed it down, and again, like I said, the edges are not as clean, but this is definitely the simplest method for creating this costume. It is still very time consuming just to trim out the tape and get everything just right, but it's pretty mindless. You can watch TV while you do it and it's a good time. So I just used this green shimmery fabric that I got from the craft store and placed it over all of the adhesive areas, and that is one method to make the bodysuit of her costume. The other is to take green felt and use that instead. It's a little bit easier to shape and work with and kind of create more accurate lines to the true movie costume, so I really like this method as well. So what I actually ended up doing was combining both methods and putting that shimmery fabric over the felt and then gluing it onto the corset. And then all that's left to do is actually get ready and put on your costume. So I got that top from the Halloween store, and then I just put the corset over top. I definitely recommend get somebody to help you. I tried to put this on all by myself, and it was so hard because I think I honestly eat too much Chipotle to actually wear those. Next, you want to take your hair, and I don't know how to properly do this. This is just how I do it. I tie a really tight bun. I think if you braided your hair, that would help too. And then I just put a hairnet over top, and I picked a black one just so it would match with the cap that I have. You also go with hot glue and use a mannequin head as the base of your headpiece. Make sure you're very careful when you go to remove it because sometimes it can get stuck with the glue. And then once you have that on, you just want to go ahead with the finishing touches. Like you can do makeup to match it. You should definitely add a cape because capes make everything better. And also just be careful when you're wearing this because it is so wide and it's very easy to like bump into a doorway or something. But yeah, I think this turned out really, really cool. This is just a close-up of the bodysuit. You can also cut the top so it's more angled and looks kind of more aggressive, but I just left mine alone because I tend to over DIY and I'm always afraid that I will break whatever I make. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can always leave them down below. Be sure to check out Thor Ragnarok in theaters on November 3rd. There will be a link to buy tickets down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!